Good morning, everyone, or at least it is morning for me. I hope everybody's having a fantastic weekend. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I wanted to sit down and make a tier list for Marvel Rivals Season 1.5. I'm a top 100 Captain America main in Celestial 2, pushing for eternity, and we're just going to get straight into it. I got my coffee, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we got Adam Warlock. I was always a big push for Adam Warlock. I thought he was good. I thought he was strong. I thought he had the potential to be really good in a team comp where he can shine. And personally, I think that's primarily in a triple support comp. Now, if I have, for example, Adam Warlock in duo support comp, I might maybe be a little bit apprehensive about it. But I've had some pretty good Adams that can really make it work. Just 2 days ago, yesterday, I had a game where I won with Adam and Rocket as my duo support comp, and I even remember telling him, like, hey, we got to switch this up, it's not going to work. But then at the end I was like, you know what, y'all held it down, good job. So Adam needs the comp to help him shine. He's not a character that can just slot into every comp. You can try and force him and maybe get some results with him, but because of that, I would probably rate him probably around C, low C. His ultimate is pretty good. You know, I've lost games to his ultimate, but I've also lost a lot of games with his ultimate. His healing obviously isn't the best, but it is quick burst heals. It's just too easy to pressure him, especially as a Captain America main, to make him use all those charges. And I'm actually, I'm gonna leave him in C for now. His damage is really good, especially now people are discovering a quantum cancel. People are starting to do even more damage with him, so I think he has potential, but for now he's just a C tier hero. For Black Panther, super execution heavy. If you play him, you know how fun he can be. You know how quick he can shred someone down, how quick he can burst somebody. But there's a lot of things in this game that work against him. Specifically, you know, anti-dive. You got characters like Bucky. You got characters like Namor, Penny. Obviously, you're not going to see Penny all the time in high elo. But, you know, there are a lot of things that work against him, not to mention just like having healers in general, like a healer that presses a button and heals himself or heals somebody else while they're being dove. You know, Black Panther, the tickle monster, right? Everybody knows it. But, I mean, he's super fun. His ultimate does good amount of damage. But then this season as well, he's got a no-rag bug where his dashes are just not connecting, even if they should have, even if the hitbox lined up properly. So people are dying because of that a lot. And because of that bug, just for this season, I'm going to have to put him in D tier because that makes him next to unplayable, you know? If you get caught without your dash reset, if you mess it up, the character's dead. You know, you can't do much about it, especially with characters like The Thing out now. If he just slams onto you and you can't do anything, you're dead. You're not making it out. So yeah, I'm putting Black Panther in D tier. That might be unpopular. I think the character's super fun. I think he has potential to be stronger. Right now, there's too many things in the game that are working against him, and especially the bug. Black Widow. Now, this is going to be a controversial take. I know a lot of people get games with Black Widows and they're like, oh, she throws my lobbies. Oh, man, every time I have a Black Widow, she just goes negative. And while that's true, I think that this character is scary and has some sleeper potential. Now, again, this tier list is purely my thoughts, purely my opinion. This isn't a definitive, I'm right tier list. This is just my thoughts from playing the game in Celestial. I've had some crazy Black Widows. Now, if you give a Black Widow a Mantis as a duo and she just focuses on damage boosting that Widow, if she can hit her shots, she's one-shotting all the squishies. And because of that, and the recent buffs, I'm putting Black Widow in A. Now, I think it's a low A. I think it's an extremely low A. But I'm putting her up. Captain America. I was looking forward to talking about this guy. A lot of people seem to think he's weak. A lot of people seem to think he's weak. But I'm here to tell you that Captain America is one of the most slept-on tanks in the game. Okay? This character is one coordinated team off of being a must-pick in every situation. You know, people always ask me if you can solo carry with Cap, and I always say that Captain America is only as good as his team is in this game, right? With some good coordination, you can run the lobbies with Cap. I've had plenty of games where when I have good DPS, when I have good backline in general, I'm able to just live forever, constantly make space, constantly be a distraction. This character's sleeper. And I know I'm biased, but I'm doing my best to be unbiased about it here. I'm not gonna lie to y'all and tell y'all he's a bad character. This character's easily like mid to high A. I would put him. Cloak and Dagger, pretty hard gutted. Pretty hard gutted last season with the nerfs. As much as I like Cloak and Dagger, I like having Cloak and Dagger on my team. I do think she kind of fell off. I think she's like a high C support. A lot of people are going to disagree with me, and that's okay. Her ultimate's still really good. The healing and self-sustain that she can do is also really good. I just feel like, personally, I would rather have an Invisiwoman or a Luna or a Loki or even a Rocket than a Cloak and Dagger most of the time. And it feels weird to put Cloak and Dagger and Adam Warlock in the same tier. But honestly, it's just my opinion. I don't think Cloak and Dagger is as strong as she used to be. People still ban her regularly in my games, and that's fine. I think a lot of people just haven't caught on to how easy she is to deal with now. I find it 10 times easier to pressure her now. With Doctor Strange, me personally, this is an easy S tier. I mean, he's so good at what he does. He has such high damage. Now, the health nerfs definitely made it a bit harder to play him always at the front of the team. You do have to play a little bit more conservative. But, I mean, he's got a shotgun, he's got a shield, he's got, you know, so much burst damage with his expulsion. The character is just too good. His ultimate's easily one of the best in the game. I know it's easy to be countered, especially by the support ultimates in this game, but it's still really, really strong. You can kill through. Let's say a Luna ult pops. You can ult into it, and if you hit somebody, you can guaranteed kill them every time because he's just so strong with his burst damage. Groot. You know, I always had the impression that Groot was probably one of the better tanks in the game. But the more that I've been playing, and again, I could be biased here because I play Captain America, it's easy for me to just jump over his walls. I know he's super obnoxious. I know he's extremely hard to play against when you have a good Groot on the enemy team. But honestly, I would put him like low A, maybe. I think. You know, I'm looking at this. I'm actually going to move Black Panther up to C, Cloak and Dagger up to B. It doesn't feel right to put Cloak and Dagger next to Adam Warlock. But as I was saying about Groot, you know, his ultimate's super strong, especially when you get the walls around him. Or around the enemy team, you can do a lot of damage, and he's pretty good at like controlling space, right? Just like Penny, he has a lot of tools to control the space and make sure you can't push up immediately. But once those tools go, I mean, he just doesn't have much to hold it down other than his ultimate, other than you know, the big wall that heals him. But Groot, probably a low A tank. I would dare even say like high B. But I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, you know. I do like Groot. I like seeing a Groot on my team. I'm never going to complain about a Groot on my team, so I think low A is fine. Hawkeye. Hawkeye was probably one of the best characters in the game in Season 0, and I don't really know what happened to make him fall off so hard. Maybe people got bored of playing him. I know he got a reduction in the charge time for his arrow, and recently he got an ultimate buff, but you know, the character's still strong. He still has one-shot potential. The people who still play Hawkeye are still putting in the work with him. You just don't see him. He went from being a permaban every game, Hawkeye Hella, to almost never being seen anymore. I think the character's still really strong. I would put him above Black Widow. If you're good at him, if you're hitting your shots, he's definitely one of the best characters in the game. But most people aren't hitting their shots with him. Maybe the good Hawkeye players dried up or they started getting countered. You know, he might even be like high B, because I feel like if he were, you know, mid A, we would see him a lot more. I see a lot more Black Widow than I do Hawkeye, and that's saying something, right? So the character has everything going for him. I think maybe people just don't like playing him. Maybe he doesn't have everything going for him, because now I'm thinking about it, when I dive Hawkeyes, usually they die. But every now and then you get that crazy Hawkeye, you know, just the fact he does have the potential to one-shot already makes him one of the best characters in the game. But execution and in practice, I think he's probably just a high B character. Hela, easy S tier. I think Hela is always going to be a staple pick in this game. She was permabanned in Season 0, kind of went away in Season 1, and now in Season 1.5, people are starting to ban her again. I think what you see a lot of times is last half of the season, you saw a lot of Punisher, right? But people realized, you know, Hela has a bug now where she can 2-tap at any range, and the people who are hitting headshots are hitting headshots. She does a lot of damage. She kind of has everything you could need as a character like her. She has a stun, she has a movement ability, she has burst damage, and she can 2-tap every squishy in the game, right? So if she gets dove and she hits her shots, she's fine. And that would be the counter to her, is to dive her. But, you know, unfortunately, you just kind of can't against a good Hela unless you have a very coordinated team who's going to all go on her at once. Ultimate's still super strong. Way less people die to it now than they used to. I remember if she popped it, it was basically a team wipe in the past. But now people are better about burning it. But it does suck when you have a team of, like, I don't know, Iron Fist Wolverine, right? And you just can't hit her. You can't do anything. You're shooting her. And you got me on Captain America. My Doctor Strange or Magneto's trying super hard to shoot her. But it's just not working. And she'll burst down your whole team because she's got like 1,000 HP in her ultimate. And then she comes back down, I think full healed. I could be wrong about that. But Hela, easy S tier. I'm actually even going to put her above Strange. I think she's that strong. Hulk had a big fall off this season. You saw him a lot last season. He was a permaban in season 1. But it wasn't because of him. It was because of what he enabled for Doctor Strange and Iron Man. And those team-ups are still fine. But I feel like Iron Man was buffed in a way that he relies on the Hulk team-up way less. Doctor Strange is just always going to be good with or without the team-up. So because of that, Hulk is just not being played as much. I would probably drop him in low B. I think he gets blown up too fast. His cooldowns are fun. They're easy to use. The character's not easy to use, but the cooldowns are super easy to understand, right? He just gets blown up way too fast and doesn't have all the tools to deal with it. I think this character has a high skill ceiling, but you don't get much reward for playing him. And kind of sucks. I like Hulk as a character. I like him in the game. I wish he were a little bit better. But right now, the only reason you pick Hulk is to enable your Iron Man. And right now, Iron Man is in a state where he doesn't really need that Hulk. So maybe you pick him with the Strange to give him no anti-heal and, you know, extra damage because his burst damage is already so good. But I couldn't tell you the last time I saw Hulk in a game. Iron Fist. Now, I'm a big Iron Fist fan. I recently did an unranked to Celestial with Iron Fist only. I was a top 200 Iron Fist at one point. I've got a lot of experience on this character. Fun fact, before I was a Captain America main, I was an Iron Fist main. I like Iron Fist a lot, one of my favorite Marvel characters, and I always wanted a martial arts character into Overwatch, so when they added him to Rivals, I was like, oh, I'm playing him and I'm only going to play him. Now that didn't stick around very long. When I found out, you know, Captain America was significantly more fun to me. But Iron Fist, still super fun character. The recent changes to him, turning him into like a weird little tank buster, pseudo off tank. I always said that Iron Fist should be played like an off tank. That you should be playing in to get cooldowns out, use your block, and then as soon as you block, maybe you get Luna Freeze out, maybe you get Mantis Sleep out, or maybe you're fighting an Adam Warlock and you get all of his heals out and then you leave. You didn't get a kill, but you just got some of the best cooldowns in the game out, right? And that was your value. Now it's kind of the same idea, but you just have more HP. He can have up to 450 HP, which immediately starts decaying. He gets 1.5 seconds back on every punch for his block cooldown. Excuse me. The character does percentage-based damage when he's in his, like, powered up, you know, rapid punches, the bullet punches, and makes him do way more damage to tanks, gives him way more self-sustain, especially in his ultimate. The character on paper should sound pretty good, but I think in practice, he just doesn't have what he needs. He doesn't have the damage anymore to pressure the backline or supports. Now what you tend to do is, like, it's kind of like Captain America. He has low damage, yes, but if you get in there and you start brawling, they're gonna have to use their cooldowns. But the question is, are you going to be able to pressure them enough before you have to leave to force out those cooldowns? With a character like Adam Warlock, probably, yeah, but, you know, if you fight a good Luna or a Mantis, they're going to hold their sleep or their freeze. And if you guess wrong, then you just got to leave because now you're without your block. They didn't shoot it, and you're going to die if you stay any longer. So you just got to kick out and wait for your kick to come back before you go back in. All right. So Iron Fist, unfortunately, as much as I like this character, he's definitely just like probably. This is hard. I really want to call him good. I think he has a super niche playstyle. I think Iron Fist excels when he has a team that plays around him. Unfortunately, you're not going to get that all the time unless you're 6-stacked, and if you have a 6-stack that's willing to play around an Iron Fist, then maybe he's one of the better characters in the game. But most players aren't going to play around an Iron Fist, and because of that, he's definitely just a low B character. I do think he's better than Black Panther, though, because it doesn't have any game-breaking bugs right now. Iron Man. Iron Man, I think he's always going to be relatively weak. I know he's pretty good right now. People like his ultimate because it can one-shot through support ultimates. I know his right click got buffed, and it does a lot more damage than it used to. Almost, I think it's 20 less damage than the old Gamma power-up used to do. something like that. The character definitely got strong, but I think people are just getting better. And with Hela being like hard meta right now, Iron Man's just not really going to be free to play the game. I would put him probably, this is controversial, I know, but I'm going to put him high C. I just don't think he's that good right now. Unfortunately, I wish he were. I do like Iron Man. I like to see him in my games, especially if I'm playing Iron Fist. You know, I like to run at them. I know it's not the best, but it's what it is. Jeff the Shark. If you're playing him like a support in a duo support comp, he's an easy D tier. However, I've lately been seeing a lot of backline DPS Jeffs, and as much as I would have hated that, you know, back in the day, maybe when I was playing Overwatch, that would have pissed me off. We don't have Rollock anymore. You don't give up a support to have a DPS Moira, you know? Now we have triple support. And let's say we have a Invisiwoman Luna and a Jeff, who's constantly in the backline doing damage, healing is secondary. Now you're speaking to me a little bit, and I'm moving Jeff up to B tier. Because he does a lot of damage and he has crazy survivability. He's a lot like Captain America with his playstyle of just getting in, distracting, making the team turn around, chase him, and honestly just pissing him off is like so much value. I see so many people crashing out now about Jeff being unkillable, me included, man. If I dive on a Jeff, I'm not doing anything to him. All I can do is force him out, and guess what? He's going to be back there in about 5 seconds shooting at your backline again. So Jeff, probably a B tier. I would say low B, probably lower than all these characters. It feels weird to put him above like a character like Iron Man or Black Panther, but I just don't think they're all that strong right now. Loki, easy S. Super strong character. He's my support main if I ever play support, which is extremely rare. I think I've played support one time since I left gold, and that was just like a day or two ago. He builds his ultimate so fast. He's 3 different players on the map. That's 3 times the healing if you have all your clones up in good spots, or 3 times the damage. His his runes are so strong, man. You can pop them. I think it's a 20-second cooldown. And, you know, that seems long, but he has them seemingly every fight. They have a lot of HP, surprisingly, and before you know it, he'll plop them down, and you just full healed his tank that was about to die. So, Loki super strong, ultimate super strong, copying either DPS or support ultimates feels so good. Recently, you know, when I play Loki, I choose to copy my other support ultimate. You get another defensive. Let's say you have a Luna on your team. Now you got 24 seconds of immortality, right? So, super strong character. I think he's a hard meta pick. Maybe not hard meta, but I do like to have a Loki on my team. And again, he is my support main, so maybe I'm biased. But every time I have a Loki, I feel like I'm in good hands. Lunar Snow, another S tier. You're noticing a trend with the supports. The supports are very strong this season. They always will be. As long as sustain is the way that it is in this game, it's gonna be strong. Luna Snow has a stun. She has the Snowflake, which allows her to heal 2 people at once. She has already good healing, already good damage. Her ultimate is just 12 seconds of immortality and also a damage boost, potentially. I've seen people comboing it a lot with like Namor ultimate or Doctor Strange's burst damage after his ultimate. You know, you can do a lot with Luna Snow. I think she's an easy S tier. I don't think there's ever going to be a time where I complain about Luna Snow. I see a lot of people banning her, which I don't think is completely necessary, but I definitely understand why. You give her the Namor team up, especially, she's even better. I'm sorry. No, the Iron Fist team up, which isn't the, you know, greatest team up in the world, but just getting a little push away, an extra CC on top of her stun is pretty solid. Can't complain about it. Alright, we got Magic. Magic, I think, is easily the best melee character in the game, maybe after Wolverine. But, you know, Wolverine is super niche, and he plays into his niche very well. But Magic, I think, is very strong. I think a good Magic player can dominate a lobby. You know, with this character, it's a lot of either feast or famine. You know, you either see them absolutely shredding the lobby. They're either ending fucking 57-3, or they're ending, you know, 3-20. Right? That's kind of what you get a lot with this character. So I think because of that, she's probably like a high B character. Maybe I would even objectively say she's low A, but I don't want to clutter up A too much. But yeah, Magic is strong. I like her. I do really want to learn how to play her, so I'm going to try and start that pretty soon. Magneto, another easy S tier. I think he's better than Strange. I think he just slots into any team so well. You don't need much synergy to play with Magneto. He just already synergizes with almost every character. I'll never complain playing Cap or Iron Fist or Loki. I'll never complain about having a mag on my team. Toss on top of that he's able to one-tap through Cloak and Dagger Luna Snow, Mantis, Invisiwoman. You know, he can kill through those super strong support ultimates. Easy S tier character. I think he's just so solid. His damage is solid. I know he got a nerf recently, but I don't think it was big enough to make him weak. He's better at solo tanking than Strange is, in my opinion. If I have to solo tank, I'll probably go either Strange or Magneto. For my sanity, I like to play Strange more, but if I didn't care, I would probably play Magneto way more. Mantis, probably like a high B support. When the game came out, I originally thought she was the best support in the game because of her damage, but you know, in this game it's become so clear that sustain is what matters way more than damage. I was used to the Overwatch mindset, so because of that, Mantis, she has a strong ultimate, incredibly strong damage. You pair her with the Black Widow and she's one of the best characters in the game because she's going to enable this character to one-shot. But I don't think Mantis offers exactly what the team needs most of the time. Now in a triple support comp, she's incredible, and I won't even complain about having her in a double support comp. But you know, no, she's a low A. She's a low A, not a high B. Moon Knight, nerfed recently. I know they made his ultimate significantly worse, and it messed up the combos that he can do with Groot, killing through most of the support ultimates. They made it so that he does more damage, but a way slower, like, Talon falling speed. So it's way easier to walk out of it. They also added a delay, I believe, between when he says, "The moon haunts you," and when they start hitting, so you don't get caught by surprise as much anymore. You have way more time to walk out of it. Me, I'm an idiot, so I still die to it a lot. But I know that a lot of people are struggling less and less with Moon Knight. That being said, I think he's solid. I think he does okay damage. He's kind of gets walked over by divers. I know a lot of people think he's anti-dive, especially when they run in with Spider-Man and he places down an Ankh and just shoots at it and kills you. But I don't think he's that strong in a dive. I actually think he's pretty weak. I would objectively say he's like a mid-B character. I would put him under Cloak and Dagger. Namor. Now, let's say you have the Luna Snow on your team. Easy S tier, right? And most of the time, I don't think people are playing Luna Snow and Namor separately. And a lot of times you see them together. The team up is just way too strong, right? His third turret with, what is it, like 600 HP? Don't quote me on that, I could be wrong. But it feels like 600 HP, and it slows you. It's an incredibly strong ability. So Namor is a must pick into dive most of the time. Because of that, I think he's an easy S tier. I think he's super strong. And even if you don't want to play anti-dive, you can just go and flank with him, drop down your 2 or 3 turrets in the back line, right click a support, shoot them again, and they're dead. You know, that right click makes their makes the turret shoot at them, right? And it's just so much damage so fast, it just bursts them down. I've lost games to flanking Namors that I just can't deal with because my team is just constantly dead, dead, dead as soon as that Namor gets behind him. I think the character's super strong. I think he can be obnoxious if you're a dive player. I don't have much problem with him when I'm playing Captain America or even Iron Fist. But if I were to play somebody like Spider-Man or Magic or Psylocke, I think he would be significantly more annoying. Penny Parker. I know she has the highest win rate in the game. I know that's true. But I can't tell you a time where I've been like, oh my god, this Penny is running the lobby. I think when you have a smaller player pool, you're just inclined to have a higher win rate, and that's okay. I think the good Pennies can set up really well on certain maps. I think she shuts down a lot of choke points really well. But if you break that egg, she kind of loses everything she has. And that's just the design of the character. That's how she is. A lot of people say she's a noob character, and I don't think that's the case. I think she has a lot of cool tech that a lot of people master and get really good at. I think the Penny players that really stick with this character are going to figure out that she's okay. But for me personally, if I see a Penny on my team, I know the game's probably not going to go that good, and it's unfortunate. But this is going to be our first D tier. I just don't think she's that good. Again, this is my opinion. I apologize if you're a Penny main watching this and you feel like I'm stupid, you think I'm retarded. Let me know in the comments that you think I'm retarded. I just don't think she's that good, man. Psylocke. This character fell off hard. I originally thought she was one of the best characters in the game. I was like, yo, Psylocke does so much damage. She's Genji, but hit scan takes out all the skill of playing Genji. But then I was like, oh, okay, she kind of sucks. Her ultimate's still annoying, I think. But if you get 4 people inside of it, I'm playing Mr. Fantastic or Captain America, and I hold my shield or press shift, you know, suddenly it's not even a problem. That being said, you know, she does have good burst damage. I think the good Psylocke players are going to keep her moving. I think they're going to do well if they're not too busy playing with one hand. I think the character's like a high C. I don't think she's that good. I think she's probably one of the worst dive characters in this game. And I don't even think that means she's bad. I just think there are a lot of really good characters in this game right now. Rocket Raccoon. He's Flark and helpful, you know? I like him. I like having a rocket on my team that knows what they're doing, but when you don't have a rocket on their team that knows what they're doing, he's an easy D tier. But I would say he's like an A tier support. I would put him above Mantis. Now, I know he has a super high win rate. I know he has the highest healing in the game, technically. And his BRB beacon is super good, and his ultimate, if in the right situation, is really good. But there's just so much that needs to fall into place for Rocket to be the best character in the game, right? To be the best support. Whereas you can just pick Luna, M1, 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 same with Loki, and get the same value, same with Invisible Woman. Rocket just takes too much, and you know, he doesn't die, which is nice, right? He has some really good movement, really good against dive. Like if you're getting dove on, let's say you're playing Luna, and you can't win against the magic who just keeps messing you up, just go Rocket. Just sit there and right click. He does incredible damage up close. He's definitely a tank melter if you get in the right position. Like just yesterday, I was playing Mr. Fantastic and got absolutely blown up by a rocket. It had me questioning my entire existence. But yeah, low A. I like the character. Just a lot of rocket players are obnoxious, I'll admit. And too much needs to be going right for him to be good. Scarlet Witch, easy D tier. A while back, I fought the rank 1 Scarlet Witch, and they were putting in the work, I can't lie. They weren't a bad player. They just had shitty teammates, I'll keep it real. Their teammates were horrible, and they were playing really well. They were doing some crazy things that I'd never expected to see from a Scarlet Witch. But the character, I just realized, just doesn't do enough for the team, right? It's constant, steady damage, and I think if you want to play this character, you absolutely can and make it work. But I think she caps out way too early on. I think at some point, she just stops being effective. I don't know exactly when that is. Maybe it's around Plat, maybe it's around Diamond. But in Grandmaster and Celestial lobbies, you almost never see this character. It has one of the lowest win rates in the game, I believe. So does Black Widow, though. But I don't know. I just don't think she brings much to the table in terms of helping the team. If you want to play anti-dive, which is what she's really good at, you just play Namor or maybe Bucky instead. And those are probably better choices. With Spider-Man, I know this character has a lot of potential. He has an extremely high ceiling, but I just don't think he's that strong. Now, it could be that I haven't played with like a really good Spidey yet. I know there are people who are making it work, people who've got him in Eternity and even One Above All, but I just think the character overall is not that strong. I would put him over Psylocke, probably in like a low B. I would say Iron Fist objectively is better than Spider-Man. And that's a crazy thing to say, I know that's crazy. But I think Iron Fist is just way more consistent than Spider-Man. That's kind of the problem with a lot of Spider-Man players, is consistency, right? They run it down, and sometimes they do incredible and they're running lobbies, other times they're just going negative the whole game. And you know, it's feast or famine, just like Magic, but I think Magic is way more consistent than Spider-Man. That's what I have to say about that. Squirrel Girl has been coming up lately. I've been seeing her a lot. I don't think she's the greatest character. I think she's like a mid-B character. I would put her over Moon Knight just because she has constant pressure, constant damage, super annoying. Her 2 stuns, her mobility, her ultimate is pretty good if you don't shoot it, which a lot of people don't know that you can break it, or at least it seems that way because the people in my games don't shoot at it. But I think she's not the greatest character. I would actually even move her down. I would put her under... I would put her under Hulk. I'm gonna revise this at the end and just adjust it to see who I really think is like best down to the worst. But yeah, Squirrel Girl, not crazy, not a crazy character. I think she can be annoying, especially if you're newer to the game. She does a lot of damage, has a lot of pressure. But yeah, that's all that needs to be said about that. Star-Lord, I've been saying it since the start of the game. As soon as I saw this character's range, he's an easy S tier. Easy. And they buffed him again recently, gave him better mobility. But as soon as I saw the damage that he has like Tracer, almost Tracer level mobility, moving around, getting invulnerability with his right click, his little flip in the air, and his booster pack, which makes him super impossible to hit, his little spin around gunny thing that auto aims, right? This character's easy S tier. Now, obviously that ability's not broken, but his aimbot ultimate, he builds it so fast, feels like he has it every other fight. His damage otherwise is just so consistent. He can shred tanks, and he has the mobility to leave and not get caught out of position if he takes an off angle. This character is an easy S tier. Like I said, I've been saying it since the game released. As soon as I saw the range that he had and the damage that he had, I knew he was going to be a problem eventually, and it looks like this is the season where it started. Storm. Now, this is a hot take. I don't think Storm's that good. I said it in my most recent upload. I think Storm is mid as fuck. I think her ultimate puts her in A tier, but I think she's super mid. She's a constant ban in most games that I'm in, it seems like, but I feel like most people just haven't put in the time to learn how to deal with her. The problem is you kind of have to rely on your DPS to deal with her. That's the case with every flyer. But I think Storm is the flyer that gets the most value if the team doesn't deal with her. And that ultimate is just obnoxious, so I understand why people are banning her, but I don't think she's that bad. I never have a problem with her when I'm playing Iron Fist, when I'm playing Mr. Fantastic, if I'm playing Punisher, or even Bucky, you know, I can snipe her out of the air, it's not a problem. With Hela being meta right now, you know, Storm's gonna just get shot down every time. So, I don't think she's that good. Punisher, with the Rocket team up, I think he's a high B. I think he's good. I've got my duo. When he plays DPS, he plays the Punisher, and he does incredibly well with him. I think the character's solid. I think his shotgun is surprisingly good. And to anti-dive, let's say you got a Thor who's just constantly pressuring the back line, or even a Captain America. If I see that shotgun come out, I'm gone, right? You don't want to stick around to see what happens after that. Punisher's going to slaughter you. The turret is whatever. It's not the strongest in the game. It can be pretty good every now and then. It's just super niche, and you're not going to see Punishers absolutely dominating with the turret. It's usually their rifle with the rocket team up or the shotgun when they get increased fire rate and unlimited ammo. Just constantly putting out pressure, melting tanks, melting the front line overall. I've had Punishers in games where they end up ending like 67-4. It can be crazy, this character. So, Punisher, high B. I would put him over Magic and even Hawkeye just because I think he's super consistent. Thor is a... I would probably put Thor about low B. No, not low B, like mid B. I think he's good. I like Thor. I don't see a lot of him anymore. I get him every now and then. People see me lock Cap and they think I want the team up, and the team up is good. Team up's not bad, but I just think Thor and Captain America, like, meshing together, I don't think their playstyles really click together very well. So I honestly don't even like playing Cap and Thor. I like the team up. It makes both of the characters better. But there are better characters to play alongside them. And I just don't think Thor is all that strong. Sometimes he does feel unkillable. Sometimes he can be obnoxious when they know how to do their pushes. When they're pushing you over and over and you can't get away from him. It can be super obnoxious, but his damage is pretty low. His ultimate still kind of sucks. I just don't think he's that good, and that's okay. Venom. I think Venom is a heavily slept on tank. He's been getting little micro buffs here and there, and he's just slowly getting better. He's creeping up, and I see him a lot more. And I might be biased because my duo is a Venom main. We've recently been kind of running Captain America and Venom. We've been playing an interval dive comp where one person goes in while one person kind of holds the front line and keeps things steady, and as soon as that guy goes out, the other guy goes in. So it's just constant aggro. You come back for healing, and then the other guy goes in over and over and over. And maybe because of that, I feel like Venom is super strong because we have really good synergy, and we've been making things work. I think Cap and Venom is actually extremely strong. I think that's a really slept-on duo. But with it being said, I don't think Venom is the best tank in the game. I would objectively even say he's worse than Captain America. I'd put him probably around... I would put him at the top B, actually. I think he's super good. I think one more buff and this character will probably be like A tier. I think if Venom is ever an S tier character, the game is bad. Same with Captain America. If any character like that, Iron Fist even, or Psylocke, or Spider-Man, if those characters are ever like the hard meta pick, the game's bad because that means there's no way to deal with them. Bucky is an easy S tier, right? I don't think that's crazy to say. I think he's better than Star-Lord. He does 5 damage less than Hela, but he is a projectile, just a super fast projectile. His pool is an 8-second cooldown, and he can hold it for like 5 or 6 seconds. He can pre-charge it. If he hits it, it hits people around and pulls them in. His uppercut can be used immediately after to push you even further into their backline, practically into their spawn room. So if you get hooked, and especially as a squishy, you're basically dead. Because what he can do is he can hook, pull you in, headshot you, immediately uppercut, turn around 180 in the same time, push you back, and shoot you again. And I'm pretty sure you're dead if you're a squishy. And even if you're a tank with no mobility, like Magneto, how are you going to walk out of that alive? Especially if he puts you behind the team. So I think Bucky's slowly becoming a permaban. I think people are catching on that this character is a problem. And it's super annoying to play against because I've been seeing Bucky banned in almost every single game I played. Wolverine. Wolverine is also consistently a permaban. I think that's just the people I don't think he's the best character in the game, but I think people are just annoyed at a character who just solely exists to make your life miserable as a tank. And I understand. Me as Captain America, I don't really have to worry about it. I can just hold my shield and jump out of there, no problem. But I can get like why if you played Groot or Magneto, who have no mobility, it's probably one of the most annoying things to deal with as a tank main. So I think people need to learn to play against him because eventually, you know, there are going to be characters that are better than him and you can't just permaban him every game. But I think he's like a low A tier character. I think he's super easy to use. I would say Iron Fist is harder than Wolverine. But Wolverine is just permabanned. It's hard to say, really. I in my mind, I think he's good because he's permabanned every game. But, you know, I don't see him anymore because of that. And the games that he is in, people usually aren't that good at him. So maybe he's not that good. But the fact that he's permabanned just makes me believe that he is. Mr. Fantastic. I play a lot of Mr. Fantastic. I'm striving to become a top 100 Mr. Fantastic already. I think the character's super fun. I think he's super intricate, well-designed. I'm currently doing an unranked to Celestial with him. I'm currently GM2 with a 97% win rate. The character, if in the right hands, is extremely strong. I can even play him in my Celestial lobbies. I've brought him out. Most recent video, I play a lot of Mr. Fantastic in it. And because of that, this is unpopular. But I think he's low A. I think he's a solid character. A lot of people have been rating him like C or even D, maybe low B. But I think he's extremely solid. I think he's slept on. I think eventually he's going to come up and people are going to realize, whoa, where did this character come from? Invisible Woman, easy yes. Easy, easy yes. One of the best healers in the game. Her ultimate is so strong, charges so fast, covers so much area. Just super solid. I will never complain about having an Invisible Woman on my team. Also gives the team up to Mr. Fantastic, the Thing, and the Human Torch, which makes them all significantly better, which goes into the Thing. We're going to skip Johnny for a second. The Thing, I think, is really good, and I think he's better than Captain America. He's super easy, in my opinion. Not too much going on game plan-wise, but I think he excels at what he does. He lives, man. He just lives. It is so hard to kill a Thing most times. And I think that's how the character's meant to be, so I'm not going to complain. He lives. He doesn't have much else going for him other than the ground being so strong. If you switch it to hold, you can just tap it and instantly slam the ground. So if a Black Panther, you know, jumps onto you or a Spider-Man swings into you and you immediately press shift, now that guy's dead every time. So I think the Thing is super strong. I originally thought he was a hard counter to Captain America, but the more I play against him, I just don't think it's that bad. So yeah, high A. Human Torch. No, he's better than Wanda, but this character, I see no playtime with him. I don't see anybody play him. I know the Storm team up with him is super strong, and it shreds through ultimates, and I think it should be that way. 2 ultimates to kill a support's ultimate is fine. But, you know, you just don't see him ever. And Storm is banned a lot of times, too, so there's no reason to play Johnny. I've never played against a good Johnny Storm, so it's hard for me to say. But, that's really it. That's every character. This is my list. Again, this is just my personal opinion. In a second, I'm going to go ahead and rearrange it to make it more accurate to like what I really think every character is rated. But yeah, again, this is just my personal opinion, so don't take it personally if I rated your character low. Some adjustments. This is my final tier list right here. I still think Hela is one of the best characters in the game, so I kept her at the top. Magneto, I think, is shortly behind, and then the supports, of course, make up most of the S tier, and I think that's okay. I think the supports in this game are really strong, and I'm honestly not against the sustain meta in this game. I moved some things around. I moved Mr. Fantastic down to high B. I moved everybody around. I put Adam at the top of high C. I still think these characters are bad. I still think this is the order that they go in, but all that being said, that's it. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. Remember that these are just my opinions. None of this is concrete. This is from a Celestial 2 Captain America main. My opinion is not the definitive. If you got mad at my tier list, tell me about it in the comments. I'd like to hear it because it'd be funny. I hope... Well, if I offended you, it is what it is, right? I hope I didn't. But, you know, me saying your character is bad is not saying the character's bad. It's just that they are not good right now. It's not a bad character. They're just not good in this meta. So yeah, that's it. I hope everybody has a fantastic day or night, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out. YouTube thinks that you might like these videos, so go ahead and check them out. Let me know if you do like them. And just a reminder, I do stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so I do it right here on YouTube. And if you're here already, you might as well come check me out. Appreciate it if you do. I hope everybody has a great night, and I'll see you guys next time.